Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on another episode of the NosCast with the crew of Camp Nos, and joining us today we have on my left
Murdoch. I thought you were gonna say my name.
I always look to y'all to introduce.
Let's introduce your own damn selves.
Let's be honest. We all had to sit there and think like, what is my right? What is my left?
Yeah. It's your boy Murdoch. What's good? Obnoxious intro.
And then also joining, moving down the line to the right,
Drago.
Yeah, and then also, as always,
Gregory Hall, a.k.a. Sir Cushington.
And behind the boards, we got our good old friend Christian.
What up, y'all? What up?
And I'm Leroy. What's up, everyone? How's everyone been the past 2 weeks? Has it been 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
What y'all been up to? What's been real?
Comedy's starting to open back up, with stand-up and everything, and because it was Como did the old 30% capacity for comedy in New York.
You tried to match New Jersey?
Yeah.
We seen us having fun.
It's like you just imagine being in Manhattan, and you look over the border, it's like lights and everybody's like partying, and then over New York, across the Hudson, is just dark, gray, and sad.
That's like being grounded when the neighborhood is having a block party.
Right?
Yeah.
You just watch it from the window.
But yeah, comedy's coming back, and it never left, but it's starting to pick up again, so I'm excited.
Like live shows.
Yeah, live shows, yes. Yeah. So I'm trying to get some gigs and book some new shows coming up.
Word.
With COVID safety precautions, of course.
Mm-hmm. True. What about y'all? Anything new happening in y'all neck of the woods?
I feel like it's just still the same old COVID schedule.
I'm
working, playing a lot of video games.
What we playing right now?
I just started mad late, but I started Breath of the Wild for the first time. Zelda on the Switch.
Loving it, hating it, think it's the worst thing in the world, greatest thing you ever played?
I'm liking it so far. I'm not like completely in love with it, but I feel like I'm still just doing all the regular open world bullshit first, like getting the towers to unlock the map and stuff. So I feel like once I get all that out the way and I'm like deeper in it, I'll start liking it more. It's just like the same old usual first 10 hours in an open world game. It's just like, let's just fucking unlock everything and
exactly. Some areas you can't even go to yet. Yeah, same old.
So.
What about you, Dragov?
For me, I've been same thing. Relations going up, but I've been watching, catching up on because a lot of good anime is about to start up. So I caught up on Attack on Titan.
Were they season 3?
Yeah, season 4, final season.
Okay,
final season.
Oh, this is the final season?
I ain't even started season 1 yet.
Because I remember when the first season came out on Netflix and it took over almost every Spencer's store, GameStop. But that was like years ago, I think. I was still in college back then. And then I rewatched it and I was like, oh wow, this is actually good writing.
Yeah, it's a good show. I only saw season 1, so I have to catch up.
It's crazy how an anime comes out and the first season is always I feel like monumental, it's everywhere. Attack on Titan was the biggest thing, and I was like, how did this show just start? And, My Hero Academia.
That's what
One
the
Punch
thing
Man.
about the thing I like about anime is it's always word of mouth how things keep probably nothing's ever hyped up yo, this is going to be the next big thing that you should watch. It's always anime always gets popular just through word of mouth. This is a couple of people see it, they love it, and more people see it, and blah blah blah. It just builds on from there.
I guess because there's so much, that it's just whichever
you gotta wait and see.
Yeah. And I think also too, with a lot of anime, it's something for everybody. You know what I mean? You might not be into I'm not into the fantasy type of stuff, but I do. I love the martial arts action stuff. That's kind of the genre that I like the most. But there's other stuff, like I said, High School Girl, which is but it kind of does have that a little bit.
It does. Yeah.
But that anime I like so much because it kind of makes you reminisce when you were a kid and you would go to the arcade and you start thinking about all the arcade type of people that you will run into, and you remember certain little things I remember when that new game hit, there's an episode when Super Street Fighter 2 comes out, and I was like, oh man, I remember where I was at when I heard about it and where it came out and when I played it the first time. So
I was also a cartoon in Japan when this game came out.
I just like with that show specifically, I love it from like the competitive standpoint of it, because I just like when they meant, like, it seems like it was actually written by someone who played these games competitively. Like they weren't really just a casual gamer who just like, who just played them as a kid. Like someone who actually knows these games in and out. Because like in that one episode of Street Fighter 2, like all the tech they were mentioning, like, okay, this is called this, and then they're literally explaining in the episode how to do
how to do it.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, like this was written by someone who literally was in like the fighting game scene, like heavy.
That's dope. It's always dope when it's like you can tell, like, oh, this person like actually knows what they're talking about. It's not like soulless product placement.
We can only hope for that for the Mortal Kombat movie. Like, hopefully, written by someone who actually maybe heard of the games.
Yeah, because there's no Cole Young.
They'd be like, yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of ninjas. I'm sure. Yeah, I know a guy yells Mortal Kombat. Maybe
everyone likes Melina, right?
I keep seeing a lot of tweets about Melina. I'm gonna add her in here.
There's Scorpion's the main character.
I see him on a lot of the posters. He has to be the main character.
There's a Bruce Lee. Yeah, throw him in there. Bruce Lee type of guy. Yeah.
Speaking on the same train, actually, because before Legend of Zelda, I've been on my marathon of the Resident Evil games, because I'm going through them all for the first time, because I want to get to Village.
My man.
And right, I know they're announcing a lot of stuff for the movie too, and it's another thing where like now that I'm halfway through, like I'm up to Resident Evil 4 now. So
my favorite.
That's what I've heard. I'm excited.
Oh man, I remember watching you lose your life for hours playing that game. I never forget. It was I think you actually had too, Dragon. We were all at at this spot when we were younger, and he's playing, and I remember taking a nap for like 3 hours, and then I woke up and he's still playing and cursing out the screen. I was like, what the hell is going on?
But it's the greatest. It's my greatest. Like Resident Evil always finds some way to reinvent themselves, like every like 3 or 4 games, by changing up everything completely. And it seems like scary, like, oh, don't if it ain't broke. But when they do it, it makes it so like inventive. Like like we had fixed camera angles and rendered 3D backgrounds for like the first 3 games, and 4 switched it up. You got third person over the shoulder shooting with like a little bit more action, and then with Resident Evil 7 we got like a straight complete first person view.
I'm really hyped for 7.
Yeah, 7's good. 7 is really good. 7 is really good. Like I said, the only ones I don't really like is 5 and 6, but nice. Yeah, like you were saying.
I did 0, 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica. That's
they're about to. So I think they're about to.
Code Veronica is so underrated too.
That one was hard. That was probably the hardest one that I played, and it was also the only one that I played that still had tank controls. So on top of it actually being difficult, I was like getting used to like the original control scheme as well, and I was like, I can't move. Like,
did you do both campaigns, or did you just cap at like one and say
for Code Veronica?
Yeah.
Well, I did Code Veronica X. I don't know if that makes a difference. Where it's like it's Chris and
I'm
Claire.
thinking. I'm thinking of like there is a part where you play as Chris. Never mind, it wasn't 2 campaigns.
Yeah, it was like one. It was like double the length. It was like 14 hours, which I was like, geez,
true,
like this.
True.
But I'm enjoying them a lot, and I'm excited. I'm hoping that now that I'm more in the lore, that the new movie hopefully is good as well.
This is the live action movie.
Well, it's a live action one, a live action show, and an anime show. So
so much Resident Evil thrown at us.
The anime show, they're keeping the Resident Evil 2 remake voice actors for Claire and Leon, which is pretty cool.
That's cute. That's adorable.
The 4th remake is around the corner too, so they're about to announce that after the next.
Which one?
After remake for 4. Because they're gonna.
Oh, they're doing another port of Resident Evil 4. Okay.
Because
they did the HD. They did the HD one.
They did 2, 3 already. I think they already had. They're buying the rights to 4.
They should remake Code Veronica instead, because that one needs it.
That one I could see. Like they did an HD, Code Veronica. Like 4.
Because 4 is GameCube. Like that's old. It's not that old.
And like we just like on the last generation console, we had that. We had the HD port of it anyway, so I feel like the game still holds up. You know what I mean?
That's what I hear. I'm excited to play like an original version of it.
It's like it's a great like change of pace, from your fixed camera, all that nonsense. I hate. I mean, it was fun because it was all we had at the time, but in retrospect, It wasn't. It
You
wasn't.
get
It's not
some
the best.
cheap kills on you.
Yeah.
Like
It
you
ain't
like
the
think
best.
you're good. And like,
Something jumps at you. It's like, but I can't even see where he's coming from. So how can I move left or right when like you just have to guess? Like I don't know. But what else? What else is going on? Powerpuff Girls got announced. The casting
Yes.
for this is the CW.
Yes,
I
it's
think
a
so.
CW
Show?
live action.
Show.
I'm not excited for the show, but I like the casting.
The
Like,
Right?
yeah,
I like the casting. I just don't like it's going to be on the CW because
That too.
I just don't want any Riverdale vibes with this. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people kept saying the same thing.
Because that's
I'm
what
hope. I mean, it's
what they
I,
did with Arrow.
yeah,
Flash.
yeah. It's like they all just gonna
Supergirl.
blend together and be all like.
One big giant CW universe.
the CW is gonna be all like.
Hope not.
don't. Let's shut up. Let's not speak that into existence. It
I
could
feel like
be-
CW's entire lineup is just gonna be like darker adaptations of like they got Riverdale and
you
all
know
the-
what?
was
Speaking
like Archie and Sabrina and all
Speaking
that.
of which, you know what I thought of, and I thought this idea. And Chris, you let me know how you feel about this. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm gonna try to pitch this to the CW. Call it Junkyard, a Riverdale dark version of Fat Albert in the game.
Yo.
Think about that could work. That could work. Think about it, because if you watch some old Fat Albert episodes, there were some dark episodes, man. I still never forget the
I
episode.
would
with
rather
Kid-
Jordan Peele just do it. I would
You know
rather
what's-
have him write it.
but you
If
know
that's
what's
the
real-
case.
you know what's-
Think about it. They could do it like this. It starts off, who killed Mushmouth? Who
You
killed
know what's
Mushmouth?
really fucked? I actually kind of like this idea. Like, I don't mind it. Like, if I actually saw it, I'd probably watch it and be like, yo, I love Fat Albert.
And it's just gonna be titled Albert.
Albert,
Albert.
And then there's a scene where Bill, he gotta go
buff
see
now.
Bill.
Ripped and shit.
He gotta
Came
go
out of
see
jail.
Bill. Now remember, Bill was
Tatted
based
up.
on Bill Cosby, so he goes and like sees him in prison.
You know what? Then I got a question for y'all. What's your CW show adaptation? Like, if you were hired by the CW, you could adapt any property that you like into one of their shows, Powerpuff Girls and Riverdale style. What would you do, knowing that you had to do it, even though you didn't want to?
Ooh, I was just talking about one of my favorite shows as a kid before we started the podcast, but I think it would be interesting with doing like an Ed, and Eddie where it's just like older like scammers and
Oh
shit.
my god, yo. They're not just scamming the cul-de-sac
Yeah,
anymore, they
like-
scamming the town.
Credit card
Exactly.
scams and
Like some Wolf
Coming
of
up
Wall-
on the biggest heist. Yeah.
drug dealing,
Some
like
Wolf
just
of
trying to
Wall
make
Street.
money.
Yo, Wolf of Wall Street style Ed, and Eddie revival?
Like,
That's kind of nutty,
straight
actually.
in the boiler room, just like.
Oh my god. Yo, I would do Bedrock, but make it about
Flintstones?
the Flintstones, but not Fred and Barney and Wilma, Pebbles and Bam Bam in their teenage years, because that was the thing. And be like, oh, because that'd be kind of cool, because Fred's a little bit behind in the times, and make it kind of cool.
I would
Make it
probably
animated.
take like Scooby Doo, but like they're solving like SVU and like CSI, like real serious shit. Like not just some loser pretending to be like a zombie or a ghost, and
You
like
know,
real serious serial killer shit.
I
like
think that's
leaving
becoming a
like
thing.
leaving breadcrumbs and clues for them to fucking
Zodiac,
find.
like,
Exactly.
No,
And,
I
like, out of
think
all
that's a
detectives,
thing.
these fucking like grown ass kids are the only ones that can like solve it.
Oh,
shit
like they
That's-
did with Nancy Drew on CW.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Nancy Drew.
Nancy
oh, yeah,
Drew's
there is
yeah.
a Nancy Drew
Yeah,
show
it's
on
like
CW.
all
Is that
dark and
CW
horror.
too?
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's gonna be their whole lineup.
I can only think of Kids Next Door.
But wait a minute, Kids
But
Next
the
Door.
teenage version.
I hate that I like
The
all these
teenage-
fucking ideas. Like,
when they became teenagers and they had that little secret teenage club or whatever.
The
But
teens
they never
next
got to
door.
see. Yeah.
we're supposed to have a continuation of Kids Next Door, but it's not live action. It was supposed to be Galactic Kids Next Door, but they never picked it. They never picked it up off the ground. It was supposed to follow #1 in space and all this stuff.
Oh,
it was
okay.
it was supposed to be really cool, but see, Cartoon Network was just like, nah, we're gonna go do live action stuff now.
Nah, bro.
Who would y'all cast in y'all versions of
Does mine have to be live action, or does it have to be? Can it be animated?
live action?
It's CW.
It's
It's
CW.
CW. We don't
Damn
make the
it.
rules. I'm sorry.
Damn it! All right. I don't know, man.
Would make a good number 5.
Which one was 5?
The black girl with the hat.
Oh, you got so many
Easy
choices.
options.
Like they would probably cast Zendaya.
Zendaya.
I can see her
Yeah.
doing it.
She's at the right age range too.
What's the
Asian?
Kiki Palmer? I can see her doing it.
Kiki Palmer.
What's the little she's a little younger. I think she's on a show on Nickelodeon. I can't remember. What's her name? Sky Jackson, some shit like.
God, what?
Sky Jackson.
No, you had it.
Okay, Sky Jackson.
I was gonna say Sean
yeah.
Jackson.
No.
Oh, Sky Jackson,
No,
definitely.
Sky, yes, thank you. You know, she's a lot older than I think that's a younger picture.
Yeah,
know.
age 18.
2011.
That's
You know,
about
it's just like she's
okay.
18.
Yeah.
She's smiling at us like I make more money than you.
But yeah, I could definitely see like those three.
All teenage
That's number
cast
5.
except for number 1, which is played by Jason Statham, who's pretending to be a teenager.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
We got a DH Bruce Willis playing.
yeah, Looper.
Hello, fellow kids.
Now is who the other girl in the green? Was she?
She's Asian.
She's Asian.
Yeah, she's
okay, all right.
I think her
Chloe
number
Bennett
4
will
had
also
the
take that role too if it's not Olivia
Chloe
Munn.
Bennett.
I think mine would be kind of hard. I don't know. I guess.
Your show? Which one was your
Fat
CD?
Albert?
Albert.
Albert. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's just Albert. It's not.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
Albert.
just Albert.
I was like, I don't know, man. Like, is the two fat twins from back in the day? Are they still alive? I don't remember their
The
names.
ones that were in
the one that was in old school.
Old School.
Yeah,
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
I would him like no, not Keenan.
Just
Thompson.
get the whole Wu-Tang clan.
That would be dope. I get the whole Wu Tang.
I was gonna say, yeah. Who like it would, they probably have to put someone else in a fat suit.
Yeah.
Now that things
You know what's
like,
The
kinda wild?
Disney Channel likes finding.
They asked my dad
Chubby.
to play Fat Albert back in the day.
Really?
Yeah,
In
was
this
when-
movie?
Yeah, that's when. Because back in the early 90s, they'd been planning the Fat Albert movie for like 2 decades.
Yeah, I
Originally,
One of
Forrest
those.
Whitaker was
Yeah, I was
gonna
gonna say
do it.
that.
Oh my
and
God.
then
And-
him and Bill
but,
Cosby.
but here's
That would
the
be
thing.
Albert.
Your Wu-Tang thing wasn't far off. They were gonna cast all rappers, and it was gonna be like a tribute to the old school cartoons. But it was just the whole cast was gonna be legends of the day. So it was gonna be
I
like.
kind of like that idea better than what we got.
Yeah.
Who are you telling?
With this crap. Yeah, it's like, and plus, like with this movie, like, cause I watched the cartoon as a kid, none of the actors encapsulated the characters at all. Like they were not what the characters were.
My dad passed because he was like he didn't want to act. It wasn't his thing. But like from what he told me about the script, he said it was fucking awesome. And then when he took me to see this, because he was like, oh, it's gonna be the same script even though some things have changed. He was like, this is so fucking different from what they had planned on.
I promise.
Like,
He was like, I'm sorry,
I'm
son."
so sorry you had to see that. Oh my god.
Cover your eyes.
I don't know. Maybe we get Rick Ross. I don't know.
If you go with a serious tone, then yeah, you probably gotta get Rick Ross.
Get Rick Ross.
Get slimmed down.
I don't know, maybe Ari Spears since he's still funny,
Yeah.
but
Who's that guy from
that's that
American Idol?
rugged, raspy voice.
I like that
So-
you called yours Junkyard.
Yeah, junkyard. They always hung at the junkyard.
Junkyard.
Matter of fact, it would even be dope because I just started watching Snowfall. Making like Snowfall. They're like Albert's in some real deep drug shit.
So wait, will we call your Ed Ed and Anything cul-de-sac?
I guess so. Yeah.
3 guys going for the American
And then your
dream.
code name is Treehouse.
Yeah, it's Treehouse.
And your code name would be
I had Scooby Doo.
Mystery Machine.
Mystery Machine.
Or, Mystery Team.
Mystery
No,
Machine. and
Mystery Team was
Team.
taken already.
Mystery
So,
Incorporated.
Yeah. Mystery
Yeah.
Inc.
Mystery.
Mystery Inc. Mystery Inc. That's it.
good.
You know.
That just reminded me of Mystery Men.
underrated movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. When people hear All Star, they think of Shrek. I go, no, I think of Mystery Man when I hear that song.
I remember
Underrated
seeing that.
film.
I seen that in theaters.
I think I did too
Yeah.
with my dad.
Yeah, man.
He was the
That's
one
a
taking
great
me to
film.
see stuff I shouldn't be
Damn,
seeing.
I forgot about this movie.
So
Yeah.
underrated.
Classic
So good.
with Ben Stiller as Mr. Furious. William H. Macy was the shoveler. Janine Garofalo was the bowler. Kel Mitchell was
William
the
H.
invisible
Macy?
boy. Yeah,
Kel Mitchell and
This had a
Invisible
good
Boy.
ass cast in this
Wait a
movie.
minute.
Invisible
Paul
Boy.
Rubens, Pee Wee Herman is in this
Yeah,
movie?
he was
Yeah.
the spleen.
Spleen.
Oh, the farting one.
Yep.
Flatulence.
What
They
the
all
fuck?
had like shitty like powers. Like, basically.
like really bad. It was a Blue Raja.
So this is
Yeah.
like the Z team of superheroes, basically.
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 Everyone look like it was basically like before we got the
that
Doom
movie
Patrol live
tanked.
action, like.
I just saw the box office for his budget.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
It was ahead of its time. If it came out now, it probably would have did a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be very meta.
Because like obscure, like very funny, like superhero teams, that's the thing. Doom Patrol, your Suicide Squads, your Guardians of the Galaxy.
It would have been
movie would do amazing, right? If it came out now.
Can you imagine making a movie like that where it's like, this is great 20 years from now?
Exactly.
I could see if they did Zoolander 2. I could see this coming.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
they should do a reboot of this.
This would be perfect
Just a
in
sequel.
today's.
Just a sequel.
It was just way ahead of its time. Like I don't even think X-Men was even out.
Nope.
yet.
1999.
This was a year
This was
before
a year
X-Men.
before, so yeah, they paved the way.
Wow, you know what? Just thinking about that, 1999 was a dope summer for movies. Like this was out. I remember Blade came out that summer.
Because they thought the world was gonna end next year. So.
True, it's like, yo,
Put the good shit out now.
Go.
I would say Star Wars, but nope.
That was episode
Phantom
one.
Menace.
Just straight up nope.
Nope. But was Big Daddy came out that summer. There was a lot of dope films that came out that summer. I think Blair Witch, but still nope.
Blair Witch was awesome. The first one.
The first one
one.
sucked. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I wasted
Wait.
my
It
damn
was-
money in the
and-
theaters.
and, like I guess when you compare it to like stuff nowadays, how we've gone from found footage. In retrospect, it's not always the best because it seems like it's just a lot of suspense for like a payoff that's like.
Kind of
I'm
crappy.
still, no, I'm
Yeah.
still,
But it made-
I'm still
But at
angry.
the time,
Made a
but at the
genre,
time,
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like
it-
I will always appreciate that movie for what it is and what it
Nope.
does. Like
Nope.
you know.
Nope.
It,
Nope.
it was still very effective.
No, it's not.
You know what it was, and it was one of the first movies that I even remember that had like a lot of viral marketing attached to it
Yeah.
before like
I'll give it that.
everybody.
Yes, it did.
Blair
did
Witch
all
was
that
the
shit.
Blair Witch
And
was
like
like
I
the
said,
first
it
found
cre-
footage. Like
yeah,
it
created
paved the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah. Well,
That one was
it-
like so found footage that they took the people to court because they thought
yeah,
it
they
was
thought
real.
They were
Yeah.
real. They thought they really murdered them.
That was like some other kind of viral
No,
marketing.
no.
It took Blair Witch did the same thing, but just in a better light.
Mainstream.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. Where it's like it wasn't controversial.
Did you guys see
You know.
the latest one? The latest Blair Witch?
I did.
Yes, the one that
How
came out
was
like
it?
a couple of years
Okay,
ago.
that one I actually did kind of enjoy. I feel like that one was done very well. Even though at the end I still kind of got frustrated because it was dark and you see the camera moving. I'm like, stay still.
I just got confused at the end. The end like
For the new one?
No, what it was,
confused
I
me.
figured out what it is.
Don't
is-
spoil it.
No,
I haven't
that's
seen
what I said.
it
I
yet.
wasn't gonna say what it was.
Wait, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it
Well,
yet.
too damn bad.
I'm the one who brought it up. I make
You
the
should not
rules.
have. No, but I hated the first one because I remember sitting in the theater. I was 16 with my friends. Went to go see it. We're like, oh man, we heard this supposed to be really scary. It's supposed to be like real. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, that witch, she gonna be scary when I see it. Watch. See no witch, and then no witch. All I see is some dude in the corner, and the camera falls. I'm like, the hell microwave popcorn bullshit is this? I could have went and saw Deep Blue Sea, Sam Jackson get eaten by a shark.
No, but that was the build up and suspense. Like it kept you
It
on
builds
edge.
you up for nothing.
There was an interesting
No
theory I watched
payoff.
on this video not too long ago where it was like the witch was just something they made up completely. Like it was just pretty much a scam. Not even a scam. Like it was a thing for like the two guys to like murder that girl. Like they pretty much like did all this shit and let her out there to just kill her because they were just crazy. Because everything they point like it's backed up from like it's like the guy he's one of them only has the map and he somehow loses it and then one goes out missing. Someone finds his big. Like, it's all this shit.
But that's a theory, right?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, because if that's, because I was about to say, it actually would have been pretty dope.
Because there's no like there's the witch was just a legend. That's it.
Right.
Like you don't see the witch at all.
But with the new one that came out, that kind of
yeah, it does. But
Well, here's my question for you guys then. Do you prefer when they show the monster, or do you like that ambiguity? Because I liked the original Blair Witch for the fact that I don't see it.
Same.
I think what's scary about that is not being able to know what the fuck you're fighting, especially when you're in an area where you don't know. Like they're in the middle of the woods with a fighting quote unquote off a creature that they don't have know
Yeah.
nothing about, can barely look at. I think that's way creepier than being able to see it.
because my thing is like with those, it's like. Sometimes when movies do that, where they have all this build up towards something that they don't really show until the end, it's something that it doesn't live up to its hype. Like it doesn't look effective. It doesn't look scary. It's probably just CGI, and it takes me out of the movie completely. And I'm just like, would it just been better with what I thought it may look like? So that's why I would say this movie was very effective in that. Because even with the new one, when you do see it, it's kind of like
it's not what you expected it to look like. Like, that's the one thing I didn't like about the new one. It kind of
takes me out. Like, this one is very grounded in reality. Like, it seems like it could be like a very real fucking thing.
Well, yeah, because technology sucked back then. That was really done on a camcorder back then.
See, that's why things are just very effective on a very low budget. Like, that's why, Blumhouse, they can be very hit or miss. But the movies that are really good, like when you have that small budget, small budget,
Invisible Man. Let's just we won't see the enemy at all. Save so much money.
No, like this one, you make very good points. But with the newer one, I liked more. I think I appreciate the newer one more than the original because the newer one gives you more of a backstory to it. It really builds up on the lore of the witch in the woods and everything.
Which is fine.
I appreciated that. The first one,
but it's just going back to just seeing what. Which is like, would you rather just?
No, I wouldn't. No. I like the fact that you don't see it, but the payoff wasn't good because it has to be a good payoff when you do something like that. All we saw was a guy standing in the corner, and the camera's like, okay, what happened? I don't.
Like I said, it seems like it, but like in retrospect, like it's like, because.
Yeah,
I feel like if we seen it, especially with the way this was '99 again.
Yeah,
technology,
that would have looked.
Imagine what it would have looked like in '99. You know?
some woman with green makeup, exactly, with a mole on her nose,
fucking Party City Halloween outfit on it.
Shout out to the writing.
Exactly. That's how you would have. If you were in the theater, that's exactly the face you would have made.
Man, I just wasn't ready for it too. I was just sitting here minding my own business.
Excuse me.
And then I hear just the most realistic fucking witch cackle I think I've ever heard in my life, and I've never met a witch.
Yo, but imagine you paid money and that is what you got. Yeah. All that shit, all that suspense and build up.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
What movies have you seen where the ending completely took you out of it and you were like, yo, fuck this? Like,
The Boy.
The Boy.
I gotta think of
which one?
The Boy. What was it?
The Boy.
It's your boy.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. The Boy, exactly. Like, cause they play on that the doll, like, you think it's possibly possessed and shit like that, cause their son was originally dead. So it's like, oh, is this doll inhabited by the soul of their dead son? Which I guess it seems predictable, but what we got wasn't any better though.
No, it wasn't.
He was in the walls. Like,
But that seemed like the point of the first one. Like, you're left to your own imagination of what it looks like. Your imagination's worse than what possibly you could see. But once you see it, then
it was a big letdown.
Some people are gonna say, oh, now. It probably was the guy. I believe the theory that Christian said even more than actually there being a witch. But in the new one, they show a witch, and it's like, okay, so it is something out of this.
That's what I'm saying. We got a sequel coming out. So what? Did he go to another house and hide in the walls?
Did he get kicked out? Another relative has to take his bum ass in? Like, get a job, boy.
I wish I remembered.
Get a job, boy. That's what the sequel. Get a job, boy.
I wish I remembered the name of the movie, but there's it's a Korean movie where they do the exact same thing, but they're streamers, and it was supposed to be fake, but they actually run into a real monster, and then they all end up dying. And then the guy that's watching it from the end, he starts smiling because he's like, he knows the monster was real the whole time.
Oh, and he set them up like he said.
So a better payoff, or where it's like?
It was a good payoff because it was just supposed to be fake, and then the guys are laughing, and then they get killed by the monster.
I got one, and this director can go and kiss my ass for this BS, and that is The Village. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. Okay, y'all ever see that movie?
Yeah.
I hated the ending of that crap. Like, really? There was nothing. It was just a bunch of people that was just scared to leave the woods, and it is like, oh, so all the monsters we heard was just pickup trucks just going by, just 18-wheelers. I was like, what the hell is this? Really?
I think that's when he took like his nosedive.
That was the
like,
first
yeah.
one.
And then
I
after
mean,
that-
people were hit and miss with Signs, like,
Yeah.
but
Like,
like
you-
Village was like the first
Like you
one. that was-
literally wasted my time telling a horror story about Amish people. Like that's what they were.
They're paranoid, crazy people. I'm trying to think. What was one? If you had one, Murdoch, go ahead. You can say yours. I'm trying to think. Of,
I
like,
didn't have one off the top of my head. I just thought
I'm
would
trying
be
to-
an
It's like
interesting
it's
question.
hard to think about because like with endings for me, it's like the ending has to sell the movie for me on a whole level. Because if it doesn't sell it for me, I will never watch it again.
Yeah.
Because like with
Yeah.
bad and you
It spoils the
it
taste.
ruins it. Like, and that goes for any genre. Like, if it's like something where I'm like, this is fucking kind of really dumb of a way to wrap it up, I'm just like,
That
takes me out of it. The Village was a great one because I remember watching that and I was just like, what? It's modern day? Like, I don't give a fuck. If y'all listening to this, spoiler warning for a 20-year-old movie.
yeah,
Like,
no.
Like somebody had to come back to that village like, yo, man, y'all don't know what y'all missing, man. There's this place called a strip club where you go and you see titties. Okay,
Y'all don't have Xbox.
Y'all you don't have titties and Xbox?
now, but here's my question to you though. Is it like, are these endings that you yourself deem bad, or like just you feel like you understand that they're bad? Meaning like, oh, okay, I may still enjoy this movie. I know it didn't end perfectly, but I know most people will enjoy it regardless. Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, an ending I don't like because I just got reminded of it, but it's literally dragged me to hell. I like that movie still, but that ending I'm still like iffy about.
I
guess that's
like the ending. I thought the ending was good.
where she literally gets dragged.
She literally gets dragged to hell.
Yeah. And I was like,
I was like, let me ask you a question. Did you not like the ending because you didn't like the fact that the protagonist pretty much lost at the end?
yeah, because I was
Because
like,
she didn't really deserve it.
She didn't.
yeah,
you
she
thought
really
didn't deserve
just
it.
see, like, that's the type of thing I don't like. I'm like, yo, I like this character. If you're gonna put her through the paces for some bullshit,
But you know what though? I
have
think
it a little more satisfying.
But you know what though? I think and I could be wrong. This is a theory of mine. That ending was kind of like a tribute to like John Carpenter, because John Carpenter had a lot of like endings of his horror films that weren't really happy endings.
Yeah, like they were just kind of, it happened.
Yeah.
Like for example, Halloween just kind of ends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we understand Michael gets shot, then disappears, but like, Laurie still has to deal with the fact that like most of her friends are dead. Like, the doctor still has to figure out what the fuck happened to Michael. And I always liked the shots at the end when they showed like the empty areas where he might be. I always thought that was so fucking cool. But like, there's just movies where just sometimes it just ends and then that's it.
That's it.
And
The Thing.
They
The
ran out of
Thing is
budget.
one of
Thing
them.
is one of them too.
But I do like when that happens when it's done right.
Right.
When it's
Yeah,
done
yeah.
right, it's dope. But when it's shit, like M Night Shyamalan Ding Dong over here, it's like what the
Your
fuck?
mans. I remember watching this one movie on Netflix like way back, and like the payoff, like it wasn't a payoff like I hated. I didn't even think it was bad. I thought it was great. It actually made me like the movie even more. So I think it's called Contact. So it's like,
Oh,
Jodie
Robert
Foster?
Zemeckis. I know.
Is
Yeah, it's a
that
Robert
good?
Zemeckis movie.
It's
Oh,
with
did he?
with Jodie Foster, right?
I don't.
Because she had a movie called Contact.
It's either I could be wrong. I could be, maybe it's not the name. Contract. It could be called. Okay, let me describe the movie because I could be wrong. It's not Jodie Foster. It's
Okay,
not
okay,
that.
okay.
So, this might have been like 2012, 2013, some shit like that. So it's like this chick, she's at a party, she hooks up with this guy, and so next day, like, shit starts happening to her body. So it's like she thinks it's STDs, and you as the audience, you're thinking it's STDs, but it's like it starts getting drastic. Like this, she starts losing hair, her skin starts bubbling and peeling off, she's throwing up vomit. Like throughout the entire movie, it's just her condition getting worse and worse and worse from this one guy that she was with. But she, like, no one can find out what's going on. Like the doctors have no fucking idea what's going on with her. They're like, you don't have anything. Like, so at the very end, when like she's completely like deteriorated, she bites this one guy, I think it was a cop, and it turns out she was a zombie. She's turning into a zombie. I think this is it. Contracted. Yes, that's it. That's the movie. It's like, oh, it's like the payoff there, you find out it was a setup for like a zombie movie. Like, I thought that was fucking brilliant because none of it really hints towards it at all. You just think it's just this weird, like,
just this weird sickness.
Yeah, like, you know, it turns out no, she was turned
That's
into
cool.
a zombie.
That's a good take.
I like that.
That's a pretty good take.
That's
I was
pretty
like,
dope.
yo, that was like such a perfect ending. Like,
I gotta check that out
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I didn't know
I
they
like
made another
that.
one. Now I gotta see it. I seen something that said contracted phase 2.
I just
Something,
realized an ending that I didn't like, and I just remembered it again.
Mm-hmm.
Glass. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, M. Night Shyamalan ding dong.
I'm like,
I was listening. That wasn't
because I
Split.
love
I thought was a great.
Split. I think is great.
You know,
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable
Yeah,
has
was great. Yeah.
Unbreakable has one of the coolest endings in a movie. That
Yeah.
both
that-
of them, I thought were like beautiful. Endings,
and then
you know.
Glass just takes a massive shit on it. It's just like, why?
The build
I
up,
could
the
like
build up.
I got what he was doing, but I just think it was too rushed. Like at the end, because all of a sudden this whole like army thing comes out, and it's just
That
like,
whole
dude,
like wannabe shield type shit was
Yeah.
just like.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? Like, if you had introduced elements of that in Split, even a little bit in Unbreakable, I would understand why they just randomly show up and do everything that happens. But like, I'll never forgive the ending of Glass. For me, that movie just didn't happen.
Nah, it had
I
a
still
lot
enjoyed
to-
like a good chunk of Glass. It's one of those ones. The first 20 minutes of Glass is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I can't
Like,
even
it's
front.
so
I can't front.
good. It's
But
so
once
good.
they put him on lockdown, then I'm like, fuck. All right, fine.
And there's some good scenes in there, but it's real hit and miss. But like, yeah, that's another one where the ending was. Just
I was like, damn, he got me with them first 20 minutes. I was like, fuck, he's right.
I was like, this is like the fucking like sequel I always wanted to Unbreakable. You know, it has a wild ending that I don't know if I don't like it. It's just like completely ridiculous. The first Cabin Fever.
Oh,
that was a good.
yeah.
I
I
saw-
didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't see that coming. That was a
Yeah.
good ending. I
Yeah.
love Cabin Fever.
Well, I also meant when they go back to the guy with the convenience store and the gun. But also the ending with like, I also like that you never know if it's even like a real thing because none of the people die from the actual disease.
Yeah,
like,
true.
But Cabin Fever had like a crazy ending. Also a ridiculous ending. That movie
It
is
did.
fucking
It
ridiculous.
took a turn like I did because that's what I liked about the marketing of the movie. Like the previews didn't really. They made it seem like a regular like cabin in the woods type of like you know.
Because you gotta
Horrible.
sell it
Yeah.
like bullshit, so that when you go to see it,
You're
and
like,
you're expecting
"Oh!"
schlock,
Yeah.
it's like, what?
That's why like when I didn't see it till maybe like 2 or 3 years after it came out, you know. But then when I heard everyone talking about it, I was like, all right, you know. Oh wait, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
What are you thinking of Cabin in the Woods?
I think I'm thinking
That's
of
what I'm saying,
Cabin
Cabin
in
in
the
the
Woods.
Woods. Cabin in the Woods is incredible.
That's another
that's-
one.
yeah,
Cabin
that's
was
an
another one.
incredible movie.
That's an incredible
That's
film.
what I'm thinking of. No,
It was-
But that one's
because
good, like,
I was
all
looking
across
at-
the
Yeah,
board.
because I
Yeah.
remember when it was
Yeah.
like when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, well, this is just very generic cabin in the woods, and then like you're thinking like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like some Evil Dead type thing, and then you're watching it, and then it takes a hard left, but in a good way. You're like, oh, okay, wow.
I love how you get that feeling, like the what the fuck am I watching when you first watch it.
Yeah.
Like the first 10 minutes are so confusing because the way that it opens, it's like, what the fuck? Did I walk into the right movie? And then they say the title, and then it's
You
like,
know what's
oh.
no another movie was like that? From Dusk Till Dawn. 'Cause when
That's
you-
another one.
Yeah,
that
When you watch
really
From
takes
Dusk Till
on.
Dawn, you think you're watching like a classic Quentin Tarantino heist,
Like an action movie.
Yeah.
crime film, and then it takes a hard left when it goes to the titty twister. You're like, oh, and then like the ending when it's that shot when it pans out and you see it's like this big Aztec like Mayan temple.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, and you see all the trucks. You're like, they've been killing people for years, man.
Yeah, this has been going on for a minute.
That's a good one too.
There's, 'cause I put so much work into how fucking endings work on my own stuff. It's just like, it's very difficult to craft like a super satisfying ending. Even when all the steps are there, it's clear as day you can fuck that up. So
Yeah.
Even if it's not even like put in the right like pacing or something, like, there's so many layers to it.
I feel like endings are like the hardest things to really write. Honestly, like even your boy Stephen King, like he make jokes about it in like in It Chapter 2 that he sucks ass at writing endings.
Endings.
Yeah, like you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I remember watching not the 2017 It, but remember the original It. on TV. And I remember even as a kid watching that, the payoff was just horrible because that spider looked so bad even back then. It was like, wait a
That was
minute.
a TV movie budget, man.
Like this was just a big ass spider? Like really? That could have went in there with a machine gun and just wet his ass up and called it a day.
That one doesn't age that well.
No, it did not.
Not
Across
at
the
all.
board. I mean,
it's
Tim
not.
Curry's still great, but like as a whole, it's
That's
like
about it.
yeah.
I just like comparing that Pennywise to the newer Pennywise because it's so funny because when you watch Tim Curry, he's kind of like, hiya, Georgie. Like he just sounds like he's from like the 40s or something.
He's like a dick. Like
yeah, he's like, beat Richie, you know. And then like the what's his name? The actor's name played
Bill
Pennywise.
Skarsgård?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he. I was like, well, he really loves this clown thing because I saw the first one in the theaters and I was just burst out laughing when he did that dance. That I was like, yo, this guy really enjoys his job.
Movies with terrible endings.
I Am Legend.
You
10
know,
Cloverfield Lane? I thought
I
that was
liked it.
actually, I didn't mind. I like
Wait,
the ending.
what?
That's a weird movie because that was like another
The
ending
world
posted on top of
Yeah,
like
it
a
definitely
different
was.
movie.
But I don't want to say it was one of the. I don't want to say it was one of the worst.
I call
endings.
bullshit on this list too because the
Signs,
world's
I thought
end
was
is
a-
on here, and I love
yeah,
that
I
fucking
don't,
movie.
yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
that's on there.
Bro, Signs doesn't have a bad ending either. And I
It's
love
a
the
little
I love the ambiguous
funny with
theory
the water.
Yeah, it is.
Especially because
I
water
just-
was the weakness in Unbreakable, which was right before, and he just used the exact same trick twice in a row.
See,
and it's like,
people don't see. That's the thing. People didn't pay attention to the signs. They weren't aliens. They were demons. I
The
keep
mist.
telling people that.
The Mist.
Was it good or bad?
Have any of
That's
you
at
ever
a
seen
Yes,
it?
I've seen that.
crazy ending.
That
That
ending was
ending-
nuts.
That's crazy.
And not even nuts in like nuts in a good and bad way. Like I love the ending of The Mist, but it's fucked.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
It's fucked.
You know what makes it even better?
Bittersweet.
Another theory about this movie.
You gotta stay off YouTube.
I look at theories like all. That's all.
Yo,
I
your
fucking
new
do.
name is Conspiracy Brother. Conspiracy Brother.
So the theory with this one, remember? I think they were in the supermarket. Remember
Yes.
that crazy lady
Yeah.
was saying she was blaming it on his son,
Yeah.
saying like he was like the Antichrist or some shit like that. Soon as he dies, that's when like the military and everything shows up and it all stops.
Oh, so maybe he
Showing
was
that
the
lady
Antichrist.
was probably right.
Oh shit.
I'm saying.
Conspiracy Brother strikes again.
Like that's Signs is another one, man. Signs is another good theory. I don't even think it's a theory. I think it really
Grandma
is.
might have been onto something.
Yeah, I think it really was that they weren't aliens. They were demons. Like
I'll
with
never-
the whole Christian like undertones with it, like him being a priest and all that stuff, and losing his faith and belief, and then the water, obviously holy water,
water.
demons. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. That movie shouldn't be two of those. They shouldn't be on that list.
Are these good
So,
endings? that we're
These
looking-
these are
No,
apparently
these are
terrible.
the
endings.
worst.
Dark Knight Rises
I
ending's
can
pretty.
agree with that. I can agree with that. Stupid.
I'm not gonna.
heard-
Skyline.
I heard it both.
I remember that hot garbage.
They just made a third one. They're
I
still
know!
making Skyline movies, and I'm like, what money are they getting this from? There's like one really rich fan who's just like,
It's like
"Keep
I
making
want to
them."
know this. I want to know the legacy.
Yeah, he's from like a different country.
Oh, now I feel like shit. I'm just making.
Oh my god, go back up. That movie is insane. Have you ever seen that
Knock
film?
Knock?
Knock. What the
I heard of it.
hell?
That was Eli
man?
Roth. I haven't seen.
I didn't even know Eli Roth. The rest, like, what the hell was he smoking with this shit? It's like it's a very weird Keanu Reeves film, and it's I don't know how to explain it other than it kind of takes a subgenre of horror and flips it inside out. If that makes sense, it flips it inside out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's like it takes one direction, and then at the very end, it goes another direction. You're just like, okay. So yeah,
It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, we could have went slightly to the right, but you went skewing to the left.
yeah,
just for no reason.
And you know another movie that ended that really messed me up. It was what was that movie? I think it's called Funny
Games.
Funny Games. Yes.
Funny Games.
Oh, that
Fuck
was just
movie.
a fucked up.
That
family,
movie,
yeah,
yo,
period.
cause like I'm thinking like in the boat, she's gonna get away, she's gonna stab him. He just goes whoop. I was like, oh.
That's it?
One of those bad guy wins.
Yeah, and then they go into like another. Like it really messed me up when he got this homeboy got shot with the shotgun.
The remote control?
And he's like, nope. Rewind. You're like, wait. Time out. What is like? I am not this high. What is happening
Planet
right
of the Apes had a goofy.
Oh, yeah, the
2001
remake?
Oh, God, yes.
The remake one where they show up and there's
Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. Wow.
Oh my God.
I was confused. Like, did he land on a different Earth? Did he get lost in time? Yeah.
No,
like,
I think the theory was that like when he left, what was Fade got, I think his name was General Fade or something. I guess he got out, and maybe he started his own Hotep monkey group, and they took over. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That it's such a weird ending that's like mad confusing. Like, where in time or is he supposed to be?
You know,
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, that was a weird one too. It was way too long for what it was, but.
That movie ended like 3 times in that movie.
It was like, and the thing is, I saw this in the theaters when it came out, and I remember people getting up and doing this. Okay, wait a minute, no.
Like, all right, all
All
it's
right,
not
now
over.
it's up. Nope.
Because you know what's kind of nutty about that movie? That was Stanley Kubrick had been planning that movie,
And he died
for decades because he had been trying to make a kids movie, an intelligent kids movie, and it just never got off the ground. And then Steven Spielberg picked it up in spirit for him, but then like you clash with the ideas of Stanley Kubrick and Steven Spielberg, who make 2 vastly different movies. But it's just like it's a fucking weird movie.
See, this was a movie that I remember coming out, but I didn't have like the attention span for it as a kid. Like nothing about it remotely.
I don't think any kid
interested
did.
me.
I saw it as a kid,
Yeah.
and I remember it making me really sad.
Yeah, at the end, I was like, "Oh, he shut down."
It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Shape of Water.
You know, oh, speaking,
Lucy had it's okay.
I haven't
Ish.
seen that one.
Infinity War?
really. Well.
Titanic.
You know what was a
Okay,
movie that retroactively like you know when movies come out and then they get too out of control with the franchise, and then the franchise tries to like
Go to New York or go to space.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
but
Go to Paris.
the Alien franchise, when Covenant came out, and Covenant was like the explanation for how the xenomorphs like came to be, and it was like just so like unsatisfying and convoluted, where I was just like, this like the mystery was the best part.
Yeah.
Like
That's my thing. It's like some things are just left best unsaid. Like the speculation, mystery, and theories is what keeps you interested. Like I feel like if you get an explanation for stuff, it's not all the way worth it. Like it's like,
Yeah.
to mention Scream, that is one of the things they establish in the first movie. If you give an explanation or a motive, you're gonna lose your core audience. Like, you know, sometimes it's just not needed. Like Michael Myers is a type of character, he works best like that's the same
He's the
thing with that
shape.
franchise.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just leave it at that. They tried to introduce a cult and all this
Yeah,
other
like they
stuff.
family.
Yeah, that's like
But
he's just the manifestation. He's a he's a physical manifestation of evil.
Yeah.
Just keep it at that.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that's what Loomis was saying
That's
from
what
the beginning.
made-
He was like, "This is all this kid is. He's just pure evil. There's
That's
no
what made the
explanation
new
to it."
one work so well,
Yeah.
because they vetoed, Mike's my brother, some shit. They vetoed like that whole cult shit. It just goes back to the basic horror of it, where Michael is just an evil
That's
dude.
it. That's it.
just unstoppable.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's what makes him terrifying. Anything after that is just laughably silly. I don't need to see Busta Rhymes fight Michael Myers. I'm good on that.
He even did. Whoa! I was like, oh god, what the fuck? What am I
And
watching?
then they played that shitty ass remix of the theme song, like under it. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Imagine
right
if they
now?
do that for like that's how like Halloween Kills ends. They bring in a
They
new.
bring back Busta.
They'll use some rapper like
Method
that's
Man or
the baby or some shit
Yeah,
like
the baby.
that.
baby.
He's so short too.
There's only one man that can stop Michael Myers that can't be killed himself. Who? 50 Cent. Yo, I heard you guys got a problem.
it would be some dumb
I
shit.
know the ending of Inception was explained recently, but like when it
Who explained it?
It's the director.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Nolan, he said, yeah, it stops. It stops. He's not dreaming. Anything.
Oh,
But that's just like a clarification.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
Should've
But
left it-
people are like, oh,
should've left it for
is he-
speculation.
Is he
Yeah.
still dreaming? He said any scene with the his father is real. So
That's like the ending of The Sopranos. Like,
Oh God, that pissed me off so bad because I love The Sopranos, and that ending was just like, really?
but you know what they revealed it to be, right? Like years later, the dude came back and was like, "Yeah, Tony died."
Oh, he died. Okay,
Yeah,
they should just killed him off then. Like
just end it with just him.
Yeah, like-
dead. Like that's it. I didn't need
Like,
I
don't
don't have
half-ass
to
it.
come to the conclusion.
Yeah,
even
like,
if they
don't
cut to like the black
half-ass it.
screen and say like you heard a couple of gunshots, I think that would have been fine.
Well, you know what?
Oh.
You know what's funny? I just thought about, you brought it up. That's like Reservoir Dogs. Like everybody think Mr. Pink gets away, but if you listen closely, you hear like
He don't get away.
He doesn't get away. You hear like a car skirt and somebody screaming like, no, he got shot by the cops.
Like they all died.
Yeah, they all died. But speaking on keeping, with, we talk about Mike Myers and everything, do we need explanations? I want to ask you guys this because they recently had just dropped some more information on the Chucky TV series. And they were saying, they revealed where the town's going to be at. They said it's going to be in Hackensack, New Jersey. So it's going to be set in Jersey.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's going to be set in Hackensack, New
Hackensack.
Jersey. They said
course.
that they actually announced the cast. The Jennifer Tilly is signed on in it, but they said that she's only going to be in the beginning on the phone. So there's a lot of theories because people were wondering, is this series, are they going to keep the whole Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky as canon?
I hope not.
Okay.
Honestly.
But what I'm hearing is that they said all of them are still canon. I mean, except for Seed of Chucky and Bride of Chucky, but they're still canon because it's keeping up with that theory that he can be in multiple places. So this is one of the Chuckies, and that this town is the town that he grew up in. So you get a backstory, you get like his mother.
That's such a
I don't
mistake,
like
man.
that whole
Yeah.
I could
Why
inhabit
he-
different
yeah, it's like
dolls
why he
thing.
was-
'Cause
it was before he got
it kills like
voodoo.
the purpose of the first few movies. Like he
Yeah.
was always just trying to get to like one kid. Like he could only transfer
yeah,
his
that's
soul.
so
into
Well, no,
but
anything.
they changed
If he
that
could just,
though, too.
If he could just throw his soul into like any old fucking thing, then
But you know what I think what it is? They're playing off the whole retcon thing because it was always like trying to get to the kid so he can get to a new body. But then with the Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, they go into this whole that he has OCD, and that when it is a job that he didn't finish or somebody he didn't kill, he has to go back and finish the job. And that's the whole why he can put himself in different dolls and why he wanted to do that, to spread himself out so he could finish.
But here's the
but
thing
they
with that. Like,
that's the thing. They established that he can.
that's so
Sounds like a lot
stupid
of
to me.
people
Like I don't like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
just
Like,
to make a
it's so-
sequel,
it's
Exactly.
to make
Yeah.
money to make a sequel.
Like
Yeah.
it's so convoluted. Like
And also another theory too is that the guy, I forget the actor's name, but remember he was in the first Final Destination. He was Stan in the Eminem. He signed on, and they said it's a role that is like under wraps, but he's playing twins. So now the theory is that he's playing Chucky's kids. That Chucky had.
Glenn and Glenda?
Yeah, he's playing Glenn and Glenda, or that Chucky also had other kids that he didn't know about. And that's like two of his kids or something, and one's supposed to be just as psycho as
we
him. or
gonna keep
something.
doing that same storyline, bro. Like,
And that is set in the town.
This
And this one, he's not terrorizing one kid. No, he's terrorizing a bunch of kids in town. The one kid that he's mainly terrorizing is one kid who's a loner and he's supposed to be gay. Then there's another kid he's terrorizing that's supposed to be like his cousin. It's like he's terrorizing a bunch of kids. So
it's just like it when he has one target. Like
so he has
No,
many
man,
targets. It's supposed to be his backstory. He's supposed to know his mother, why he becomes evil, why he likes to kill, his OCD, how he can't, if he doesn't kill somebody, he has to go back and finish the job.
Don Mancini, if you're listening to this somehow, man,
It stinks.
this is not a good fucking idea.
No.
You know what sucks is like I hope to be proven wrong, and this
Same.
and it works. If it works, and somehow this convoluted mess is gonna be made to work, dope. But just from that, I mean, it's a TV show also, so I'm relying on you other fucking writers. God damn it, because
But it sounds messy, man.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it
This is
sounds
like-
messy.
This is like
it's got way too much
Five
going
Nights at
on.
Freddy's, like levels of convolutedness. Like
yo, did you ever read the? Scott Cawthon made a post about why it took so long for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie to finally get shot because it's about to start in like
Oh, is it?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
about to start filming like this year, but he went off on the list of all the scripts that they went through. They went through
there was
20 of them.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Like all separate writers, and he goes through why each one of them was shit, and it just gives you like insight into like, damn, Hollywood really be thinking this is a good idea. Like you remember the plushie characters in Five Nights? I shit you not, there was a script, Plushies Take Manhattan.
Oh my god.
This
is the first movie.
Exactly. You can't go straight to that in the
Freddy's
first
8.
movie.
That's got to come like number 6 or 5 or 8. It took 8 movies for Jason to get there to Manhattan, for crying out loud.
You can't. Yeah,
Nine
let's go with 0 to 60. Like,
Yeah.
I shit you not. And the reasoning, and he literally writes it in the posts because he'll be like, what worked, what didn't work, why they did it, why they didn't do it. And all he wrote was, Plushies Take Manhattan. Why it didn't work? Plushies Take Manhattan.
He could have like saved a lot of guys a lot of time. They just like told him the script and he was like, pass, like the name, before he even wrote it.
This is what he says. Plushies would Take Manhattan screenplay. Basic setup. Plushies Take Manhattan. Problems. Plushies Take Manhattan. Verdict. Burn with fire. I want to read that script so fucking badly, though.
God.
I want to know who was like, that's a good idea.
Was this when Warner Brothers had the rights? Ugh. Fucking Warner Brothers, man.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. They warned us. They let us know ahead of time.
They warned us when they're gonna bring a movie out. It's like what's this movie being distributed by? Warner Brothers.
Run for the hills.
But you know what? Speaking of the theme of Chucky, they also released the storyline of the first attempt to reboot it. Because remember, they were going to reboot Chucky back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So they revealed the script of what that was going to be. That actually sounded pretty cool because it kind of took. It was like they took the Chucky we know, and then they also kind of took it was like the reboot, the 2019. They kind of took that in there where it was Charles Lee Ray, but he was now like able to control Wi-Fi, all this stuff. But the more he started turning human, he couldn't control it because humans don't control computers. Mm-hmm. So that was going to be the thing. Like as more he needed to get, he more human he was becoming, he couldn't, do that. And they were going to do the original where he was a manifestation from the evil within Andy. So they were going to go with that.
I think the problem that with these movies, man, like no, seriously, and it sucks because I feel bad, man. Nah. I feel bad.
You lost me at the manifestation of Andy.
No, because the original one was the original script of Child's Play was that he was Chucky was supposed to be like this manifestation of evil from Andy. Yeah. It wasn't. It was before the whole serial killer, Lakeshore Strangler thing, which I'm glad they went with.
The original Child's Play is simple. Serial killer dies. He ends up in a doll because of some voodoo magic shit. Gotta kill the kid because, well, he's the one who saw you. And you realize you did it too late.
Exactly. And
it's a simple premise.
We established that all in the first movie. It's not like, because most movies nowadays, you would find out like the voodoo thing, like, that you find out like the second or third movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that would just come with like something they would have just shoehorned in. You know what I mean? Just to give some sort of explanation. That's why it's like, I don't think they need to do all this stuff like they're trying to do with this new series. Like, just take it back to its roots. Yeah. Like, fuck all that.
Play has the potential to be a great show and really scary. Like the original Child's Play is not to be slept on. Like it is a genuinely creepy movie.
It still holds up to this day. It's like there's nothing I really look at that movie and be like, well, that looks shitty or like no, they could have went a better route with this. Like,
and the doll animatronics still work because it's a doll animatronic. It's not a human,
and it looks better even still than versus the newer one.
Yeah, because what took me out of Curse of Chucky was the CGI that they used. Like the CGI, I fucking hated. Like when he's like walking down the steps, I was like, bro.
The steps were practical. The steps was actually a midget. Oh, was that a correct?
Little person.
No, a little person. That
cancel now.
It's a little person that they dressed up and they just built an oversized stair, but like it looked fake.
Even in there's a couple of scenes even in the first movie.
When he gets up, he's like,
and then
he clearly
when he puts like that thing on the doctor's head when he's when Andy's at the psycho. That is a clear like
kid's hand.
Like that's a 30-year-old like dwarf.
But that's so funny too. Like that's the magic of those old movies because it's like, oh, I know how they did that. Like I figure that out. Like for a while though, like old Chucky was convincing. Like, I one of my favorite scenes in that movie is in horror too. Is when Chucky was making noises and the mom goes to pick him up, and that slow reveal until she rips the battery pack out, and there's nothing's in it, and then quickly cut. Turns her head around. Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? Like that scene still gets me. I love it. It's so good.
He rolls and he's like,
that couch.
See, and it was so stupid about that scene.
No doll is supposed to do
that.
Like,
that's the thing. She goes and investigates. Like, no, you don't investigate after that. You get the hell out of there.
I just want to set the couch on fire. Like, no.
All right, that's it. The cops come. What the fuck happened? I mean, you saw the doll under the couch. Like, that's it.
But you gotta admit, when he reveals this, she's like, "Talk, I'm gonna throw you in the fire." He's like, "You stupid bitch! You slut-ass fucking girl!"
See, that's another thing. Like, even those moments don't even take me out of the movie, because there's moments where it's like the doll is just still and it looks like a toy doll, and then when there's scenes with like when the scenes where he's moving and now his face is all like detailed and like dark hair, like you clearly see that's a different, like that's an animatronic right there. Even like that doesn't like take me out of the movie, because like it's
still an animatronic and it like looks like it's a doll moving.
But like but those like practical effects still work to this day. Like if you watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street,
I will always prefer practical effects over effects.
The original Nightmare on Elm Street, the scene with Tina's being like ripped to shreds by shredding her body's all contorted in the air, that still holds up to this day. And how she's getting dragged down the wall in blood, that still holds up to this day.
Yeah. Like I said, just keep things practical. That's why I'm hoping with Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's animatronics, but it's animatronics. We don't need you got people in suits. We don't need CG. And that's the thing. The people in suits would even make sense, because in the story they had suits that doubled as both animatronics and spring-lock suits. Yeah, so they had like, and one of them malfunctioned while somebody was in it, got crushed to death.
It's crazy and it sounds nuts, but it's like at least there's an in-universe explanation as to like why these things are things.
Yeah, like
don't try and like convolute it by with too many things. Like the children's spirits and stuff like that is dope, but like.
And we're in an era where kids can be killed in horror movies now. Like,
they really can.
Show it.
Fuck
like
them kids.
Yeah, like the opening of the 2017. Like
Five Nights has every right to be horrifying.
When that kid got his fucking arm bit off, I was like, whoa, shit.
They went there.
I'm about to say because you never like in horror movies you never see kids like
you see him drag the kid. You're like, oh, they went there. That's like even in Grindhouse and Planet Terror when Robert Rodriguez killed his son, and literally, I was like, when he blew his brains out, I was like, whoa. At first, I was like, nah, maybe he just shot it off and is scared he's gonna be alive. No, he is dead, and she pulls him out, and you see his lifeless body move. I was like,
I told you about the alternate ending he made for that,
right? That kid was dumb, man. The kid who shot himself in the face by accident. Yeah. Actually told him like, don't point it at your face. Like,
whoa, what is it?
Or some Patrick
now
shit.
You know they're kidding.
Well, that's even the same thing for it. I'm sorry, Georgie deserved it. That kid didn't stand a chance. Okay, I get it, but listen. Even at his age, if I see a clown in a sewer strain,
doesn't have to be a clown. A man
that's not like nigga. You ain't that homeless. Like nah.
Talk about something. The whole circus is down here. What? I know I'm 6, but fuck out of here. Like, ain't no
6, not 2.
Exactly. Nigga, I've been to the circus. We did not go underground for that shit.
Like yo, son, this the projects. We ain't stupid. Take that across 8 Mile.
Like that. Yeah. I'm sorry. Georgie he's an idiot. He had it coming. Life was going to kill him regardless.
Exactly. Yeah. He wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah, he got hit by a car clearly on a green light.
I mean, didn't he hit his head on the thing when he was chasing
like I said, like life was gonna get him regardless if that clown made it.
I mean, I get it. Like the kid was outside playing with like his little paper boat thing. But I was a kid in the late 80s, early 90s, and I didn't even do that dumbness. I had action figures.
That's the only thing. I was like, because
this kid didn't have a Nintendo.
They should have updated it to like him playing outside to like something more recent. Like, back in like the original, it was like they were in like the 50s, 40s, like shit like that. So a kid playing with a paper boat outside. They didn't have shit else.
Yeah,
that's all.
They had nothing else but the imagination.
Like that was their Pokemon trading cards.
Like yo, son, I got page 12 right here.
I got a tugboat right here. This one here is the Titanic. Like that was like all their excitement. So yeah, they could have updated it. And new one since it was in the 80s.
But even still, he could have lived because it was like the late 80s. If his brother was like, if Bill was like, nah, I don't feel good. I'd have been like this. I don't feel good. Go play Nintendo. Leave me alone.
And that's it.
Not go outside in the rain. Who does that?
And then the credits go.
Credits.
Pennywise is in the sewers.
I was trying to think, like, what
He
horror
comes
movies
back
would have
and
been
you
over?
could have
Like,
saved me, man. You should have just went off and played Nintendo. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, every kid is doing this right now. Like, it's rainy. Like, this is perfect. Like, just stay inside.
Why are you so weird, Georgie?
That's like Paranormal Activity. It's a demon that's been following me since I was a little girl. Divorce. Credits.
Exactly. That's what I say. Like, what horror movies would y'all be in where it's like it would end it immediately because y'all would have just had smart, rational decisions made right there on the spot? Where it's just like, all right, you know what? No.
I'll tell you one I couldn't have. I probably would have failed in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, we gotta sleep.
There's no way.
You gotta sleep.
There's no way to beat that.
I would have been smart enough to even think of like bringing him into like our world.
Exactly.
Okay, this is one of my favorite movies, but I know for a fact it's easy enough to like, you're fine. Christine, by John Carpenter.
Oh, with the car?
Yeah.
Oh no, Stephen King. Well, sorry, John Carpenter directed it, but Stephen King. Yeah.
I, like, if the minute I knew some shit was up about the car, I would have just been like,
Trade
all
it.
right, trade it straight to the junkyard. That's fine. like,
Cash, we're good.
easy fix. Like, oh, it's fixing itself. Straight to the crusher. Like,
Take this card. It's for free.
I'm trying to think. You know what? For me, it would be this horror movie called House. Because as soon as I would have heard, "Get out," I'm like, no problem. Gotta go.
Can I get 5 minutes to get my stuff together?
Can I just get my stuff together? You can have the house. I'm good. I'll leave. You can have this raggedy ass house. I'll leave. Let me just get my shit. I'll leave.
what was that horror movie with Snoop Dogg in it from way back in the day?
Bones?
Yeah. Bones. I would have just. No. The minute my brother was like, "Yeah, we should buy this house."
Turn it to a nightclub.
Take one look at that fucking house. No.
I don't want to party in that house.
I don't want to be in that house. I don't want to be outside of that house.
I don't even want to be in this neighborhood. This neighborhood looks terrible. Why do you think this was a prime location?
I don't think
Prime
you
real
can flip
estate.
that house. I don't think I can flip
Bones.
Okay,
David, I was gonna ask you: have you read Life Story, Spider-Man Life Story?
No, I haven't. Chip Zdarsky.
But it's a good idea. Like, we don't have to talk about what happens, but it takes all the stories of Spider-Man from the '60s to the 2010s and makes it all one storyline.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do it for other heroes too.
like canon, like
if all of those storylines were canon and he's aging up each time instead of just restarting and he's back. So he's aging. So he's like by the 2010, he's like
dead.
Old. He's a grandpa.
He don't even know who the hell he is.
But it's
I'm
good.
still Spider-Man. I got it.
I've heard really good things about it.
Webs come out as dust.
That's kind of what they're doing with DC
Somebody gotta
now.
wipe his ass. Like, he's in an old folks home and shit.
He gotta change his diapers.
I'm sorry. I want to know more horror movies you nope the fuck out of, the minute you realize some shit was up.
I'm trying to I know for like stuff that hold like crazy legends behind it, like recent stuff, like I probably still wouldn't. So say like Friday 13th of like Crazy Ralph, who's like telling the story like a bunch of teens got slaughtered there, killer's never been found. And I'm like, he's probably still out there. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like we can literally
Killer's never
camp
been found.
anywhere.
Like, how about this? Let's not even camp. I hear Cancun's nice this time of year.
Like sometimes like you like it probably things like that with me. Like if I hear the warning, it's like there's potential that person's still out there. I was like, let's not even take the risk.
Most of those like cabin in the
Let's
woods
have
type
other
of
people
things.
experiment.
Well,
See
first
what
of all,
happens.
if you're a black person with a bunch of white friends and you go camping with them in the woods, you deserve to die because you should know better.
Like I wouldn't even have been in that cellar in the cabin in Evil Dead. I would have never gone
wouldn't have
there
been in that house.
to begin with. Exactly.
I'm like, why are we in the house? It smells like hell. It smells like death.
Did you ever see The Collector?
Yes.
I fell asleep on it. And
Damn.
I never went back
Yes.
to
Did
it.
you ever
That's-
see the
that's a-
collection too? The
Yes, I've seen both, and they're making the third one now, and I'm super excited. The Collected.
Wait, how?
Because the guy got collected at the end, and now the third one's gonna reveal what happens after that. You saw
No, he didn't.
the murderer guy.
What is the collected?
Oh,
Okay, it's a
they're
movie-
gonna flip
Well,
it.
The Collector,
Okay, I got it.
what
Okay,
is
the
this?
collector.
It's a horror movie about he's just like killing people and like collecting their parts
it's
and
about
stuff like
this.
that.
Well, the first one is about this guy who
He's a robber.
He's a robber. Essentially, he breaks into this people's home because he has to get money to save his girlfriend or something like that. I don't know, something like that. But he's a robber. He breaks in his house, but he doesn't realize is that he's walking into a whole house of a pretty much a murder scene that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's all like booby traps.
Booby
He
traps.
breaks into a house that a serial killer just like booby traps
traps.
and is like about to like torture the stuff.
The stuff, yeah. And
So
but
he
what
was in
makes-
the wrong
the
place at the
residence.
wrong
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But there's
but what makes them
Getting back
sorry.
to the conversation that we were having about noping the fuck out of the situation, not to like spoil it, it's a good movie, but there's at the end, near the end, right before the third act, the burglar gets out and then he looks up and he sees that there's a little girl in the house and he has this moment where he's like, oh shit, like I need to be a
the
good
morals
person.
kicking, yeah.
So he goes back in the house and that sets up the whole third act where he's like facing the serial killer and trying to save the girl and shit. But there's an alternate ending where he looks up and he sees the girl and the girl's like, help me. And he just flips her off and like leaves.
Are you serious?
He's like, sorry, kid.
Yeah. And that's like such a good, like, I'm glad they like shot that like alternate ending of just like, nope, like I've already made it out. I'm
Yeah,
dead.
because
you on your own.
you on your own.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that's something we would have said.
Funny.
But yeah, what makes that movie great though, it's like, you know, like when Saw with all the traps and stuff, and you know, it's like kind of like really engineered good and everything. But with the Collector, it's really like if Kevin McAllister was a serial killer. Like it's like on the lines of those type of booby traps.
Yeah.
Like there was one booby trap I think where he was trying to open the window, and the window was kind of like half closed, but there were like razor blades or like nails or something. So when he tried to pull his hand back, it just like
It's cutting him up.
I was like, ooh, that
is some Jigsaw type.
And then in the sequel, what makes the sequel, I enjoyed the sequel a lot, was that it literally, he does this to an entire rave. It's like a party. Like, I'm like, how did it even does this? It's like insane.
It's a dope scene, but it's
It's a
also
dope-
super like
It's super.
y'all went like overboard.
They went
like,
overkill on that scene. Yeah, that party was
That's
way
like the
overkill.
opening scene where it's like, okay,
Yeah, this is their-
this is a sequel.
This is it.
No.
Fuck you. I'm out. But yeah,
they did something similar with it. Did you ever see the scene with Georgie, the alternate
oh
scene
yes,
with him?
where he's like,
That shit is funny.
Wait, what? Is
So
this
type-
the OG it or
The new one.
The new
so
one.
type in like the alternate scene with Georgie. That shit is actually funny.
yeah,
Alternate.
I think it's the alternate opening.
opening.
Yeah, I think that's it.
This is it. Yeah.
Hold on, let me try and configure sound for y'all for a sec, because like with no context.
Yeah, you're gonna need the sound.
Yeah, you're gonna
There
need
you
Oh,
go.
it's in
I
it.
hear it.
Yeah.
Because of course YouTube ads. I'm sorry, I need to see like these endings. This is hilarious.
But that looks good because I got the munchies. See, that kid didn't stand a chance. Look at him. No, he's not. It's a damn paper boat, stupid.
If your brother kills you over a paper boat, you got bigger problems.
Exactly. See, right there, I'm like, nope.
What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
No.
Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. He's like, shit.
You know what, man?
And then credits. That's it.
Credits.
That could have been a funny ass, cool scare if they had kept that in, where it's like, oh, he took the boat. Where is Pennywise actually going to be introduced? And like, I don't know. That could have been actually kind of cool. That was fucking hilarious.
I love that they shoot these things. Like they're
Right?
just like, you know what, it's gonna take like a minute.
They
like,
probably
just, like, put it on
they,
DVD.
it's like
yeah.
how we joke about movies, like, oh, would it be funny if like this shit happened? So it's like they gotta be thinking like the same type of stupid shit while
Yeah.
filming it. It's just like, you know what, let's just film it anyway.
Yeah, because it's easy to say.
We're already here,
after,
we might as
in
well.
hindsight. Yeah.
That'd be funny as hell if I made a cut just for the
Small
the premiere,
soldiers.
and you watch it, and then all of a sudden that happens. Just oh shit, okay, here's the actual movie. Rolls the credits right after that part.
People are like, what the fuck?
Oh man,
Short ass movie.
Man. What were we saying before?
I don't know.
Nope the fuck out.
What movie would you know?
Nope the fuck out of.
You know what? It don't even have to be horror. What movie would you nope the fuck out of if you found yourself in this predicament where you knew, like, oh shit, I'm in this movie? No.
I would say Evil Dead like this. We in the cabin in the woods. What are you doing? I'm calling myself an Uber right now. Get the hell out of here. This
Yeah,
ain't-
because that's something you could just easily just be like, nah, I know what happens. Like, y'all read that stupid ass book in the basement if you want. I'm going home. I know that one of you will because you're dumb.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
The baby.
There could literally be a big
Exactly.
sign glowing saying, "Do not touch this fucking book,"
And
and,
there's
you're gonna
always that
still
one guy
touch
that
it.
fucking
one
do
guy.
it. And
Oh, it can't be that bad. Something in Latin, and they always know how to speak Latin for some reason. Like,
bro,
See, it's not the best.
I would hate to be in a situation where it's like someone I know is unstoppable, like Jason. This is like, I'm like, fuck. Like,
Like at this point,
What
you're
am
just
I
kinda
gonna do?
waiting
yeah,
for it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, just kill me.
you can run, he gonna catch you.
Exactly.
You know,
You're
you
gonna die eventually, but just really tired and sweaty. Like, just,
Like, listen, I'm gonna make you work for it, okay?
Let's make this as hard as possible.
Exactly.
You gotta work for you. What's some horror movies that y'all would be in that you know you would do great in?
Oh,
Like it's like, okay,
I know,
I got
but
this.
is. I don't know if you would count this answer, but I would have a great time in this horror movie scenario. Maximum Overdrive by Stephen King.
Which one? Which one is
Which
that?
is it's
That's the pickup truck.
It's the,
Oh,
it's the
okay.
fucking
Not
horror
Truck,
movie
the-
where
yeah.
the Green Goblin's face is mounted on a truck, but all trucks come to life because of a comet. Stephen King made this movie, and I shit you not, this is what he said. So high on cocaine.
I was gonna say cocaine. It sounds like cocaine.
he had a crazy era
He had
there.
yeah.
We need to
But
know
when,
his
like,
plug.
But dude, when you watch this movie and you just hear the words Stephen King cocaine and you watch Maximum Overdrive, yeah, like you watch and you're just like, yeah, this is literally a coke fever dream. Like this is great. It's such a fun time. Like I know it's supposed to be scary, but it's not scary. It's just
It sounds
it's
fucking
fun.
ridiculous. Yeah.
It's ridiculous fun. But that's it.
Maximum Overdrive.
I would have a good time in that movie because I knew I would just be like, oh, it's just a truck that's after me, man. Just hop in a Corvette. I'm good. Like it's all good. It's not even cars. It's just trucks. They always get so specific about it. They don't. And I'm like, okay, that's great. I could just hop in a fast ass car and I'm good.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah,
that's a good one.
because they had easy zombie. They had the real basic, you know.
Keep it act like zombies to get
exactly.
away from.
Like 28 days later.
Exactly.
Shit.
Yeah, 28 days later, my big ass is done. I ain't running.
That's
What
true. Like,
horror
yeah, they did just
survived?
blend in and pretend to be zombies at one point, and nothing happened to them. Like, there's always a thing. Like, what's to stop a zombie just from, like, you know, if you just act like them and just walk around, like, do they know the difference unless they can smell like
Yeah,
fresh blood or?
I don't know what this says about me, but Purge.
Purge?
The first one
Yeah,
in particular.
yeah.
I just stay inside, board up, you know, what I need to, make sure everything's locked. I'll keep a weapon on me just in case, like
Yeah,
one shotgun,
100%.
and I'll sit on the couch waiting like fucking Tommy Lee Jones and
I
fucking Men in
sleep
Black
during the
3,
day so I
like,
can stay up all night.
Yeah.
Purge,
I'm
I
a
could do
night
pretty
owl
well
anyway.
in.
I'll be
up.
perfectly honest. I'll do well in the Purge because I just be preparing for that one night, the entire year. Like my whole house will be like a fortress, and then I'll just put on like a red bandana, like I'm Rambo or some shit, and I'm like,
Side note, you know what I hate about the first fucking Purge movie? It could have been ended in 5 minutes if there was a security company that was like, hey, this horrible thing happens every year. Why don't you mount machine guns to the top of your
Like,
house?
that would-
Well, the
that-
first
and
movie
those
is about
companies
the
would
company,
exist,
right?
yeah.
It's about like the people who run the security company
Yeah,
for the Purge.
yeah, but it's all, like apparently what is the only because only like rich people and shit could like afford them and stuff like that. I think that was like the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
shit like
It got
that.
into like real political commentary.
Well, all of them did
Yeah.
slowly over the course of
Yeah,
the time.
which I thought was
It was-
fine.
yeah, it was
I
fine. It
like
made sense.
I like it, you know. But yeah, if the Purge, I felt like I would do fine in that too. Like,
Yeah.
stack up on some.
because I
That
don't,
was, like,
I
the-
don't think
the
if it was a
second-
real thing, most people would not be out committing murder. It'd
Yeah,
just be
yeah.
like a lot of like maybe like online crime.
I'm robbing
shit
banks,
like
son.
that. See, I wouldn't do that because
Bank.
everyone's going to have that idea. but those are gonna be you could show up to the bank. How are you gonna get into the safe anyway?
There's no robber to stick
Bro,
up.
I'm not
There's no
Fast
marker.
Five
to stick
style,
up.
motherfucker.
I know you be pulling off freaking white collar crimes on the internet.
You have a higher chance. You'll just die on the way there, or with the 20 million other people had the same goofy idea. We're gonna rob the bank. Like what do y'all? Some fucking 1930s cartoon? Go do something else. Like a bank? Come on.
Okay, fine. I'll rob the Federal Reserve. I don't know shit.
Like there's so much like
All right,
online
Scrooge McDuck.
there's like so much like online fraud and like shit you could like look up how to get into, like, you know.
So you think you make it up to purge, but then at the end your identity was stolen online.
Exactly. Like,
The purge would be so weird and funny if it would just began where it was like, crime's illegal for one night? Awesome, this whole gearing up montage, and then it just ends with a fool on his computer. I'm gonna steal everyone's passwords.
Most basic crime.
I'm telling you, but that would be the smart thing. You just transfer money into your account and then bam, you good.
It's legal now. It's
legal.
mine.
All crime is legal, including murder.
Nah, but you know what though? You got to be careful though, because if you got an enemy out there, boy, gonna be looking for
And
your
that's
ass.
why
They gonna be looking for you.
Oh.
Be like, oh, Tom at work. That motherfucker didn't speak to me at the coffee machine. I got something for his ass.
And the thing is, like, there's always too many people
Then if you
out
survive,
on
you gotta
purge
go
night,
back
too.
to work.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
man, I know last
Hey.
night I tried to kill you, but I hope we cool now. My
It
bad.
was legal. It was purge night. You don't
Yeah,
want to do crazy
understand.
shit.
You understand, right? We good.
know
Go
what's-
ahead.
You know what I think would be a cool purge film based on this conversation? An anthology, a one film that has like 3 stories that are smaller ones, not these fucking huge ass conspiracy ones that ended up becoming them, but like 3 little stories set in the purge where it is like, oh, just someone you disrespected or something who was crazy enough to actually go out and try and kill you on purge night or some shit.
How- some
How was the
bullshit.
TV show? Was the TV show kind of do that? I never saw it.
I never
don't-
watched it.
That's
I
the only
didn't-
one I've seen. All the
Pretty
movies,
sure.
haven't watched the show yet.
I haven't watched the show either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I've
Because
heard
if
it
it
was
was,
good.
if every episode was a different story, then I'm kind of interested in seeing it. But I don't know how the show's structured, because that would be a good idea.
You know,
The second, did you see the second Purge? That one was pretty.
I
good.
saw
Yeah,
the
I
second.
like the
seen
purge.
That's the one where they like.
That's the one I like the most.
Because I was like, okay,
After,
now
like-
this seems like kind of chaotic. How like you may
Yeah.
expect it to be
like, stuck outside.
It is an
Yeah.
anthology.
The show?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Oh, each season is different.
Oh,
Oh, and it's over.
yeah, it got canceled.
No, boo.
I think they got
damn
they
it.
got another movie on the way though.
I think
Well,
they're.
of course
I think
they do.
they're. I think it's like the final one. I think he's
Yeah.
like calling it. I mean, once you have like 4 seasons in a movie, I mean 4 movies and a TV show, like
They got to go to space.
yeah.
after that.
No, they gotta go to Paris first, remember, and then they go to space.
Well, that's if Paris is crazy enough to even pass a law.
You know, this shit's only happening in the United States.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can't
You
even
need
see.
Americans.
I can't even see that happening.
You know,
But yeah,
speak-
Purge, I think I would do pretty good in. Like I said, I just wouldn't do good in horror movies where it's like the killer's like unstoppable, like Freddy, Jason, like
Aliens.
Alien was
Predator.
something.
No, yeah, we're done. I'm sorry, you're tough.
Yeah, we're fucked
We're
in those
fucked in
movies.
those movies.
Predator, maybe.
No,
if
no.
Danny Glover could do it, I feel like I. And he was all like kind of like out of shape and shit like that.
No, he was pretty in shape for that movie, though. He really was. He was pretty in shape for that film.
but he was like
He was a full-grown man.
he was like that in shape, out of shape type. Like
I just
like-
started
like
hitting
those,
the gym
like-
again. Like,
He had good genetics, but he never went to the gym.
Yeah. He was one of those 1940s in shape, out of shape type bodies. Like, that's
He looked like a 1972 wrestler.
exactly. Like that's yeah. Like,
I love how you're
Arnold
like,
Schwarzenegger
yeah.
as Dutch. Yeah, he was in shape. Not
Yeah.
like Danny. No, like
That was like when they got Adrian Brody in Predators. I was like, well, that's an interesting choice.
but he was
got
actually.
pretty
But he got
yeah,
in shape
yeah,
though for
yeah.
it though.
y'all seen Natalie Portman's big arms for the new Thor movie?
Nah,
she's getting
how's
she's
she
getting
look?
buff. She's
Yeah.
getting got arms. There's a scene. There's
Yeah.
like a set photo. Of
Yo,
her with
man,
her
listen,
arms
that-
out.
She
listen.
can punch me in the face any day.
Yo, facts.
Listen,
Step on me.
listen, Marvel. When
I will
you
apologize.
But do it again.
I'm sorry. I'm such a sad bastard. But you know what? That's the thing about that's the thing about Marvel films.
They get your ass.
You
in
get you a
shape.
shape. You gonna have Marvel workout plan.
Like
You-
what's I think he's in Eternals. What's the guy?
the
Vegan
comedian,
too.
yes. I
Uh,
forget.
The
I know
Indian dude.
Indian dude. Yeah.
George, don't do that. Don't do that.
I was just itching.
Yeah, racist. But yeah, he got in like crazy
he's
shape.
buff,
yeah, like
They set you up with
Marco
probably
has a
a
good ass
personal-
workout plan. Like
It's required. Like
Yeah.
you got to get in shape.
Yeah.
But not to
But
go.
they provide the trainer and the nutritionist.
shit, I want to get into a Marco.
They knock on your door
This
at 4 in
dude.
the morning.
Yes.
Yes,
Come on,
he
man.
is like he turned into a completely different person. It's like he went from like Squidward to handsome Squidward.
The movie he was with Batista was hilarious.
Oh, that was that Uber.
Oh, Stuber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stuber. I didn't watch that one yet. Thoughts. Them hoes over there.
You know what? Thoughts sounds like something that would have came out in the early 2000s. Remember you had all those terrible straight to DVD black horror films with the Z at the end, like bloodhounds, thugs, you like thoughts, and
They're
he's
like vampires.
like vampire strippers or something. I don't know.
Bloods was like they're a
Bloods,
gang, but they're
yeah.
vampires.
Yeah, it's like Bloods versus Wolves. That's what it was called. There was a movie called Bloods versus Wolves, and like the wolf had a bandana on. I was like, what?
Get the
So the
fuck-
Crips, but they're like ghouls.
Oh my God, Bloods
Crip
versus
walking.
Wolves is real.
I told you, yes, it's real. It's real. Bloods versus Wolves.
I've seen that cover art in the DVD store. Like
Yo, I
Hollywood
need to
Video
look at
and
it.
shit.
I need to watch me a trailer of this
Bloods
bullshit.
versus wolves.
Nah, this ain't. There's no trailer. That's
all
all just
reaction.
people
Reaction.
reacting to it. Bloods versus Crips clip? Is this it?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna assume no.
That's a documentary.
Wait,
What? I think that's a funny scene though. That one you was just at. 'Cause I think they're just shooting each other. They all keep falling into the same grave.
what?
I forgot how I came across this.
Before you shoot me, man, can you remind me why we killing each other? I know we both barely got education and can't even spell our own name. But damn, man, we gotta be killing each other for something important, right? I mean, for all the brothers that done died out here and for all the homies that's laid up paralyzed, I need to know, man. So tell me, brother, the fuck we killing
What the
each
fuck
other
is
for?
this music?
Yeah.
Like Arrested Development.
Color.
Why not?
Is that it? Did they? Wait a minute. What the fuck is that, Snoop Dogg?
Ain't that a bitch? A gang truce, huh? I never thought I'd live to see it. Lift your drinks up if you're watching this movie in the theater at home and pour out a little liquor. It's the ghetto thing. Just play along. This one goes out to all the fallen soldiers out there. You got to do it. For real, motherfucker, pour it out.
What the fuck was that?
That's like, and I don't even remember where I
Where
seen
is
it
that
from.
from?
Because as soon as we were I was like, no, I've seen this before. I don't remember what it was in.
Where's
this
I felt like I watched that.
Ballers versus Grove Street. What the fuck is that from? Oh my god! I thought that was gonna be the werewolf thing, but I'm like so.
Prime example of
probably
something
early.
making a
The
hard
LA
left.
riot spectacular. What?
What?
He didn't even see the clip. He just wrote something.
The LA riot spectacular.
Full comedy, Snoop Dogg.
2005 satire film about the 1992 Los Angeles riots.
Wow.
Emilio
Okay.
Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
TK Carter.
Jeremy.
Charles Durning is in
Ted
this
Levine?
fucking movie?
Wow. They must have really needed the money.
Yo, what the fuck is this?
92.
Yo, I think I'm gonna try. The whole movie's free on YouTube.
Hey,
Let
see,
that
there it
be.
is.
There you
That's
go.
enough for me.
Hey, Bart, there you go. Shout out to Dylan. We got another entry.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. But
That's your show where you
They
review
felt
bad
it.
shit.
Yeah.
There you go. Add that to the fucking list.
That's probably the next one after we do was Tales from the Hood.
The Tales from the Crypt. We're
Tales
doing
from the
3
Crypt.
episodes of Tales from the Crypt. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cap it. We'll cap it out there, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in between. I don't want to know there's a lot of genders out there. I don't want to make it seem like we only prefer 2 out of the. Let me stop right there. Let me
Stop
right
on
there.
your ass.
We all looking
Good
at you like
intentions.
this. You on your own right now. So on your own.
Where that I gotta explain myself on Twitter.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you for listening and
We'll leave
watching,
it at
folks.
that.
Shout out
We
to Stone Cold, Steve Austin.
It is 316 days. Yes.
Yes.
My favorite wrestler ever, next to Sasha Banks. It is 316 days. So have a beer, crack a cold open with the boys, flip off your boss, give him a Stone Cold Stunner.
And curse him out in the face like.
Yeah, this is the NosCast with Camp Nos. We'll see you guys next week. Love you.
Peace.
Peace.